In another universe, there's an alternate version of you who doesn't skip the gym, who eats right, who takes cold showers every morning, doesn't make excuses. You might be the worst variant of yourself. I don't want to sound mean, but if you're taking an easy path, you're definitely the worst variant of yourself. And when the Clone Wars come, when Kain the Conqueror, if you've seen Loki, you know what I'm talking about. When the best variant of yourself comes to conquer your universe, you're cooked. Me, I'm cool, because I know I'm the strongest variant of myself throughout the multiverse. I'm geeking out right now on multiple bases, on a nerd level, on a psychotic level. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. My name is Jordan Ali. We're gonna get motivated. We're gonna start achieving our goals today. What I'm mentioning is when we take the easy path on just about anything, you know, you always have two options. The easy way, the hard way. You don't always have to necessarily take the hard way, but if you're going out of your way to take the easy way when the rewards aren't as valuable, why are we doing this? You know, let's say you could run a lap or you can run a mile. People who run a lap in the morning compared to the people who run a mile in the morning, who gets the best results? Of course, the people who run the mile in the morning, right? The people who do 4 sets of 5. I don't know who came up with this propaganda in the gym. 4 sets of 5 compared to the people who train until failure. The people who train until failure, their minds are more sharp. Their minds are more disciplined. Their minds, their muscles, their bodies could take on more compared to the people who, oh, I did my 4 sets of 5 reps and I'm done for the day. No, I'm calling it quits because that's all you're supposed to do for hypertrophy and for muscle mass and for muscle gaining, and I can't do no more because the internet says 4 reps of 5, 4 sets of 5 reps is all I'm supposed to do. Shut up and get to work. In the most nice way I mentioned that. Sometimes I don't know why I speak in riddles, but it's just how my brain operates. So y'all gonna have to get used to it, right? Point being, we are here as men to do things that make us uncomfortable, but get us high reward. If there's a low risk, there's a low reward. If there's a high risk, there's a high reward. So the next time you're in the gym, don't go 4 sets of 5 reps, do failure. Push yourself until failure on each set, okay? Tomorrow morning when you wake up and you have to get ready for your work and you're smelling like a big can of funk, don't take a hot shower, take a cold shower. It's gonna boost your energy levels and it's gonna boost your confidence. It's gonna boost your motivation so much you're gonna feel like a brand new person. I speak from only experience. I wouldn't mention cold showers if I didn't take them. There's another thing as well that I'd like to mention of pushing yourself to become the best version of yourself, okay? A fast. Don't call me crazy when I mention this, but time to time, maybe once a month, I'll do a 24-hour fast, meaning I won't eat calories for 24 hours. Now, caution, you have to be very safe. You have to understand what's going on within your body when you do this. You have to prepare. I'm talking about eat a big meal the night before. You have to be very hydrated on water. And what this does, it flushes out the carcinogens inside your body to get rid of all the cancerous cells. It's basically like a sauna, right? But the effects are a lot more beneficial for you. And on top of that, physical benefits, mental benefits. If you could survive 24 hours without food, think to yourself when the last time you've ever done that was. Probably never. I just started doing this now and I'm only 23. I started doing this year of 2025. But every single time I've done it, I've grown physically and mentally. My body has become healthier and I know inside my mind, if the time ever comes to where, let's say I'm in a very dire situation and I have no access to food for 24 hours, I know I'm good. But say Johnny over here, he doesn't have food for 24 hours. I'm just making up an imaginary person, by the way. I'm not schizophrenic, I promise. The shadow people only tell me to do a little bit of things. Johnny over here, he hasn't eaten food for 16 hours. He's literally dying inside. He'll survive, but mentally he's dying. He thinks it's the end of the world. But me, I've gone 24 hours without food and I've grown mentally and physically afterwards. It's things like this that I've done in order to increase my psyche, increase my mental, to make myself the best variant of myself, the best version of myself. We are becoming the best versions of ourselves all 2025, all 2026, all 2027. And if you don't want to be a part of that train, kick rocks, buddy. The door's right there. I'm sorry, that was a little rude. Let me pamper you guys real fast. So, in order to be the best version of yourself, there are so much we can do, right? I believe there are pillars to life, and whether you're spiritual or not, you know, you don't have to listen to all the advice I'm giving you, but spiritual maxing, mental maxing, physical maxing, let's see, spiritual, mental, physical, IQ maxing, EQ maxing. So spiritual maxing, whatever your religion is, dive into it deeper. Okay, if you have no religion, to each in their own. You know, this video isn't about pushing my beliefs on one another spiritually, but dive into it if you do have one, okay? Physical maxing, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're in the gym, don't push yourself to just a number that you came up with prior, because you're gonna set a limit for yourself. Push yourself to the max so you can't go no more, buddy. Okay? Spiritual maxing, physical maxing, mental maxing. This is the most important pillar, because without a good psyche, nothing's sustainable. Before I continue on into mental maxing, I'd like to mention this: full-time work, full-time school, full-time athletics, full-time social media, and I'm diving into other realms of life. Full-time family man, and most importantly, full-time man of God. And I mention this not to brag or boast or anything of that nature, but to mention this is all very sustainable for me. People mention, oh, Jordan, you might crash. That's you, buddy. We're built differently. Jordan, you might crash. No, I'm not gonna crash, because I prioritize my mental maxing. 8 hours of sleep a day is a priority for me. You know, I do need my caffeine, my coffee, and you know, cold showers is a part of mental maxing. It builds that psyche. You know, the fasting, of course, it builds that psyche. Let's see, what else? Breath work, meditation, visualization, journaling. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. I'll actually include a list of mental maxing, physical maxing, and spiritual maxing, things I do on a day-to-day basis. Like, I have a weekly routine with all the pillars. Now, intellectual maxing is also important, because you might grow your muscles, but you also need to grow your brain, because your brain is the most complex computing device in the entire universe. Some people take it for granted. I hope it's not you. Some people take it for granted. I can't imagine a life where, you know, you go your whole life without trying to learn new hobbies, learning new subjects. I can't remember the last time I wasn't constantly learning a new subject. Just to reference some that I'm learning at the moment. So I'm a psychology major. So, you know, that's guaranteed that I'm going to learn some psychology. With the prerequisite classes that I'm learning, you know, algebra, psychology, political science, music. Those are all a necessity in order for me to get my degree. But in my own time, this is what I'm doing to IQ Max on a week-to-week basis. I'm learning technical analysis with stocks. I'm learning Spanish. Mi español es muy excelente porque yo necesito hablar español para mi trabajo. Y mucho gusto tener mi amigo. Okay? I'm gonna try this as best as I can. Привет, мои друг. Добро пожаловать в мой дом. Russian. Excuse my Arabic. Assalamu alaikum, habibi. Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. Kayfu kal. I hope I said that right. If I offended anybody, please excuse me. Now, you know, Russian, Spanish, Arabic, technical analysis with my stocks, and these are all practical as well, so I incorporate them into my life. Spanish for my work, because I work in sales, and then technical analysis because I'm wanting to trade some stocks on top of that. That's intellectual maxing, IQ maxing, EQ maxing. EQ is truly important, because without emotional intelligence, just so you guys understand this, IQ is intellectual quotient. EQ is emotional quotient. Without emotional intelligence, you're gonna crash and fail, because there's gonna be a point in time where you need to understand psychology of yourself and others around you, and social psychology, to be the best version of yourself, okay? How much time are we at right now? Let's see, that's 11 minutes. Perfect. Sorry, I'm just trying to get paid on YouTube. Okay, back to business. So, upgrade your EQ, upgrade your IQ, and then there are things like, just going down the list, IQ, EQ, financial maxing. You need to also be incorporating that into your life. So just backtracking, you know, we have mental maxing, spiritual maxing, physical maxing, IQ maxing, EQ maxing, financial maxing, and you know, if you have family and friends, relationship maxing as well. Because without, you know, loved ones in life, it's just very difficult to sustain all of this when there's not something to work towards for people to work towards, if that makes sense. If we take all those maxings, the IQ, the EQ, the financials, the spirituals, you know, the mental, the physical, the list goes on, and we shove them into our day-to-day life, imagine the person you're going to be at the end of the year. Whether that's 2026 when you're watching this in 2025, whether that's 2027 when you're watching this in 2026, you will be the best version of yourself, guaranteed. This is a simple equation. You just got to put in the work, and you got to push yourself as well. Next thing you know, you're unstoppable. Next thing you know, you don't even recognize the person you've become because you are such a beast. You are such an animal in the best positive way. I hope you enjoyed this video. God loves you. Keep up all the hard work you're doing because you're doing a great job. I had to do a spin. I have some caffeine in myself, but like, subscribe, comments, what you thought about this video. Check out my Instagram, my TikTok down below, and we're gonna get to business all 2016. Let's get it.